Hello, welcome back to Leap English Podcast.
Hi, everyone. We're delighted to have you with us today.
I'm Lily.
And I'm Jake. On this podcast, we help you practice real, everyday English.
Today, we're learning how to talk about your hometown in English.
This is a very common conversation topic. People always ask, "Where are you from?" or "Tell me about your hometown."
If you know how to answer well, you can have great conversations.
Please subscribe and share if you enjoy learning with us.
Let's begin right now.
So, Lily, where do you live?
I live in a small city. What about you?
I live in a big city. It's very busy.
Those answers are okay, but they're very basic.
You're right. We can do much better.
Today, we're going to learn how to give detailed, interesting answers about our hometowns.
We'll cover 5 important points.
What are they?
First, introducing your hometown. Second, adding background and details. Third, saying what you like. Fourth, saying what you dislike. Fifth, describing how it's changed over time.
These 5 points will help us give complete, natural answers.
Exactly. Let's start with the basics. Part 1. Introducing your hometown. Basic.
Let's start with a simple sentence. I live in a...
What could we say?
You could say, I live in a city,
Or, I live in a town.
or I live in a village.
That's a good start, but it's very basic.
How can we make it better?
Let's add more details. What's it called? How big is it?
Good questions. Can you give examples?
Sure. I live in Paris. It's the capital city.
Or, I live in Shanghai. It's a huge city.
Or, I live in a small town. It's called Banbury.
What about, I live in Manarola, which is a tiny village by the sea?
Much better. These answers have more information.
You should always try to add more details when you speak.
Let me try with my hometown. I live in Tokyo. It's the capital of Japan and one of the biggest cities in the world.
Excellent. That's detailed and interesting.
What about you? Where do you live?
I live in a medium-sized city called Chiang Mai. It's in northern Thailand.
Good. You mentioned the name and the location.
Our listeners should practice this too.
Yes, pause and make 1 or 2 sentences about your hometown.
Add the name and some basic information.
Okay, let's move on to adding more details. Adding background and details.
We need to make our answers more detailed and interesting.
How do we do that?
Think about these questions.
What questions?
First, what's your hometown famous for?
Good question.
Second, can you think of some words to describe your hometown?
Like what kind of place it is?
Yes. And third, how long have you lived there?
These questions help us add details.
Exactly. Let's look at some examples.
Okay.
I live in Paris, the capital city. It's famous for its landmarks such as the Eiffel Tower, Notre Dame Cathedral, or the Louvre. It's also well known for its food, of course.
Great example. You mentioned landmarks and food.
What's a landmark?
Landmarks are famous places or buildings.
Like the Eiffel Tower in Paris?
Yes, or the Sydney Opera House, or Christ the Redeemer in Rio.
Does your hometown have any famous landmarks?
Let me give another example. I live in Shanghai. It's a huge, bustling, international city. People from all over the world live and work there.
What does bustling mean?
Bustling means there's a lot of activity.
Lots of people, lots of traffic, lots of life and energy.
Exactly. Is your city bustling?
My city is quite bustling during the day.
The opposite of bustling is sleepy.
Sleepy?
If a town is sleepy, there's not much activity and things are quiet.
I see. Can you give another example?
Sure. I live in a small town called Banbury. I've been living there for about 5 years, since I finished university. It's a pretty sleepy place, to be honest.
This answer mentions how long you've lived there.
Yes, 5 years, since I finished university.
It also describes the place as sleepy.
Right, not much happens there.
Let's practice. Our listeners should make 2 to 3 sentences about their hometown.
Include what it's famous for, how you'd describe it, and how long you've lived there.
Now let's talk about what's good about your hometown.
What do you like most about where you live?
Different people like different things in a city or town.
Exactly. Let's look at some examples that express positive feelings.
Okay.
I love living in Paris. It's got such a rich culture, and there's always something interesting going on.
Rich culture means lots of art, history, and traditions?
Yes, and there's always something interesting going on means there are always events, activities, things to do.
Can you give another example?
Shanghai's a great place to live. It's a real 24-hour city, and you can meet people from all over the world.
What's a 24-hour city?
It means the city never sleeps. There are always things open, people out, activity happening.
I see. What about a smaller place?
Living in Banbury suits me. It's a quiet place, and it's small enough that you can get to know your neighbors and have a sense of community.
Sense of community.
If you have a sense of community, it means people know their neighbors and feel like they belong.
That sounds nice.
Smaller towns and villages often have a better sense of community.
Why?
Perhaps because people have more time to talk to each other and do things together.
That makes sense. What language did we use in these examples?
We can say, I love living in,
Or, is a great place to live.
or living in suits me.
Can we change these?
Of course, you can say, I quite like living in,
Or, I really like living in.
or even, I suppose I don't mind living in if you're not very enthusiastic.
What other useful phrases did we see?
It's got such a rich culture.
There's always something interesting going on.
It's a real 24-hour city.
You can meet people from all over the world.
It's small enough that you can get to know your neighbors.
You have a sense of community.
These are all very useful phrases.
Let me try. I love living in my city. It's got beautiful temples and the people are really friendly. There's a strong sense of community here.
Excellent. You used sense of community naturally.
What about you?
I really like living in my city. It's a real 24-hour city, and there's always something interesting going on. You can find amazing food at any time of day or night.
Great example.
Now, what if you don't like something about your hometown?
That's a good question. Not every place is perfect.
Right. Let's look at how to express negative feelings politely.
Okay.
Paris is great, but the cost of living is really high. That can be quite stressful because you're always thinking about money and how to make ends meet.
Cost of living means how expensive it is to live there?
Yes, rent, food, transportation, everything.
And make ends meet.
It means to have enough money to pay for your basic living costs.
I see. Can you give another example?
Shanghai is an exciting place, but it's really crowded and it can be exhausting to live there. Air quality can be an issue, particularly in the summer.
Exhausting means very tiring.
Yes, the crowds, the noise, the constant activity can be exhausting.
And air quality can be an issue means pollution is a problem.
Exactly. What about a smaller place?
Okay.
Banbury's nice, but sometimes I find it a bit boring. There's not much nightlife, and sometimes it feels a bit cut off from the wider world.
Cut off from the wider world?
It means you feel like you're far away from people, culture, and activity.
Like you're isolated?
Yes, exactly.
What language did we use here?
We used adjectives like stressful, crowded, boring, and exhausting.
And useful phrases?
The cost of living is really high.
You're always thinking about how to make ends meet.
It can be exhausting to live there.
Air quality can be an issue.
There's not much nightlife.
It feels a bit cut off from the wider world.
Can we change these phrases?
Of course, you could say, traffic can be an issue,
Or, there's not much for young people to do.
or it can be very stressful to live here.
These phrases are very flexible.
Let me try. My city is beautiful, but it can be very hot in summer. The traffic can be an issue during rush hour, too.
Good. You mentioned 2 negative points politely. What about you? My city is exciting, but the cost of living is really high. Sometimes it can be exhausting because it's so crowded and noisy.
Perfect. You expressed negatives without being too critical.
Part 5. Describing how it's changed over time.
Now let's talk about changes.
What do you mean?
How has your hometown changed over time?
Ah, I see. What was it like 10, 20, or 50 years ago?
Exactly. Some places change very fast. Other places never seem to change at all.
Talking about changes can add interesting information to your description.
Let's look at some examples.
Okay.
Paris has changed a lot in the last 20 years. It's much more international and much more expensive than it used to be. However, the soul of the city is still there. Paris will always be Paris.
That's poetic. The soul of the city is still there.
It means the essential character hasn't changed.
Can you give another example?
Sure. Shanghai is almost unrecognizable compared to 20 or 30 years ago. The city has expanded so much, both physically and economically. It's amazing when you see old photos of the city. Things are so different now.
Unrecognizable means you can't recognize it anymore?
Yes, it's changed completely.
What about a place that hasn't changed much?
Banbury hasn't changed much as a place in the last 20 years, but the mix of people is a bit different nowadays. The population used to be older and mostly English, whereas now there are more young people living here, including many people from other parts of Europe.
So the place is the same, but the people are different.
Exactly.
What useful language did we see?
Has changed a lot in the last 20 years.
Has almost unrecognizable compared to 20 years ago.
Hasn't changed much as a place in the last 20 years.
Which of these is true for your hometown?
My hometown has changed a lot in the last 10 years.
How has it changed?
It's much more modern than it used to be. Many new shopping malls and hotels have been built.
Good. You gave specific examples of changes.
What about your hometown?
My hometown hasn't changed much in the last 20 years. It's still a quiet, traditional place.
That's nice. Some people prefer places that don't change.
Exactly.
Now, let's put everything together.
We've learned 5 parts.
Introducing your hometown, adding background, saying what you like, saying what you dislike, and describing changes.
Let's make a complete answer using all 5 parts.
I'll go first.
Okay?
I live in St. Petersburg. It's the second largest city in Russia, and it's a beautiful place to live. I've lived here all my life, and I can't imagine living anywhere else. It has such a rich culture. I think partly because the city's history is a mix of European and Russian influences. I think that's why I like it here. It's a unique place. Traffic can be an issue in the city center, but public transport is very good. The city hasn't changed much in the last 20 years, although there are certainly more and more tourists these days.
Excellent. That was a complete answer using all 5 parts.
Let me identify them. Introducing St. Petersburg, second largest city. Background: I've lived here all my life. What I like: rich culture, unique place. What I dislike: traffic can be an issue. Changes: more tourists these days.
Perfect. Now let me try.
Go ahead.
I'm from Denver.
the capital of Colorado. It's near the Rocky Mountains, so the surrounding area is quite beautiful. I've been living here for about 3 years. I really like Denver because it's a young city with lots of energy, but if you need a break, it's easy to drive to the mountains and find a quiet place to relax. The only real disadvantage is that winter can be seriously cold. Denver's changed quite a lot in the last 20 years. Many people are moving here to work. Unfortunately, the cost of living has also gone up quite a lot.
Great answer. You covered all 5 parts, too.
Yes. Introduction, Denver, capital of Colorado. Background, near Rocky Mountains, living here 3 years. What I like, young city with energy, access to mountains. What I dislike, seriously cold winters. Changes, many people moving here. Cost of living going up.
Perfect.
Now, our listeners should practice making their own complete answer.
How should they practice?
First, write down notes for each of the 5 parts.
Introduction, background, likes, dislikes, changes.
Yes, write a few key words or phrases for each part.
Then what?
Then, practice speaking your answer out loud.
Should they record themselves?
That's a great idea. Record yourself and listen back.
What should they listen for?
Did you cover all 5 parts? Did you use the phrases we learned? Does your answer sound natural?
And then practice again.
Exactly. Practice several times until it feels smooth and natural.
This is great practice for real conversations.
Yes, people often ask about your hometown in social situations, job interviews, language exams.
So this is very useful. We used many useful words today. Let's review some important ones. First word, landmark. Landmark means a famous building or place that is easy to recognize.
For example, the Eiffel Tower is the most famous landmark in Paris.
Or, every city has its own unique landmarks.
Next word, bustling.
Bustling means full of activity, people, and energy.
For example, the market is always bustling on Saturday mornings.
Or, I love living in a bustling city.
Next word, sleepy.
Sleepy, when describing a place, means quiet with not much activity happening.
For example, it's a sleepy little village by the sea.
Or, the town becomes sleepy after 9 p.m.
Next phrase, sense of community.
Sense of community means the feeling of belonging to a group of people who know and support each other.
For example, small towns often have a strong sense of community.
Or, I love the sense of community in my neighborhood.
Next phrase, cost of living.
Cost of living means how much money you need to pay for basic things, like housing, food, and transportation.
For example, the cost of living is very high in London.
Or, I moved to a smaller city because the cost of living was lower.
Last word, unrecognizable.
Unrecognizable means so changed that you cannot recognize it anymore.
For example, the city is unrecognizable compared to 20 years ago.
Or, after the renovation, the building was completely unrecognizable.
Well, Lily, I think we covered everything about describing your hometown.
We did, from basic introductions to detailed descriptions.
We learned about introducing your hometown, adding background details, saying what you like and dislike, and describing changes over time.
We also learned useful vocabulary like landmarks, bustling, sleepy, and sense of community.
Now we have a question for you.
What's one thing you love about your hometown?
Or one thing you would change about it.
Write your answer in the comments below in English.
For example, I love my hometown because it has a strong sense of community.
Or, I wish my hometown had better public transportation.
We love reading your comments.
And if you found this episode helpful, please give it a like.
Don't forget to subscribe to Leap English Podcast.
Thank you so much for listening and practicing with us today.
Remember, practice describing your hometown to someone this week.
And remember,
You're not just a learner.
you're becoming a speaker.
See you next time, everyone.
Bye!